Hi, this is Amber with the Clearwater Main Library. Today we're going to be making a little wreath out of clothespins. I have a 12-inch wire wreath, some clothespins, which you can get from the dollar store, a couple of different colored paints, and I had some extra shells laying around. Just go to the beach and grab some shells, or maybe you already have some at your house, and then a sponge or a paintbrush. I also have some water and a plate that I'm going to paint on. Okay, I've set up my area to paint, put down some newspaper, and I always like to paint on a plate because when I paint on the actual newspaper, I find that I stick my forearm or my elbow in it and it's a mess. So for this craft, you can buy this at the dollar store as well, this wire wreath. You can paint it white, but for the sake of time and for this craft, I'm not going to. You probably won't be able to see the green behind here. Or you can paint it the color of your door if it's going to be resting on your door. I need 13 clothespins to cover each section, and there's 5 sections. So that's 65 clothespins. So make sure that you have at least 65. You may need more or less. Some people choose to kind of stagger their design and do, every other one. So you can kind of play with it and see what design you want to do. So I'm going to do a beach theme for mine. I know I want one section to be kind of like the sand. I'm going to put down 13 clothespins and paint them all brown. The good thing about clothespins is they usually come already put together on, a piece of little cardboard, and it makes it so much easier to paint that way because you can just paint all of them at the same time and not worry about spilling or drippage or anything like that. So you can also spray paint these if you have a color you really want. Because you are painting wood, it's going to soak up a lot of paint. So you're probably going to need to do 2 or 3 coats. I've got 4 different blues here. I'm not really sure which one I'm gonna like. Sometimes you can't tell what they're gonna look like until you put them onto canvas. So I know I want a light and a dark, so I'm gonna try them out and see which one I like the best. Well, I feel like I've made things harder for myself because I like them all. Maybe this lighter one and this more greenish blue one. Now it's important to get in between where the little metal thing is, so that when you're close up, you can't see all the wood. You can also paint the sides if you want to. I'm probably going to paint the sides, but you don't really have to paint the back side. And this color I'm using is called Laguna from the Apple Barrel company. This other color I'm going to use is called Bahama Blue from Craftsmart. I don't have that much left of it. Really hope it gets me through. Okay, so I've started to put my brown clothespins on, which is going to represent the sand in my beach themed wreath. I'm putting each one on the second rung. because clothespins have two little grooves, so it actually fits perfectly on both of these rungs here. And then the top covers up these two top rungs, as you can see. Now I have to decide if I want to do an all dark section and an all light section, or do light dark, light dark. I'm gonna try the light dark first and see how I like it. So it doesn't take me a lot of time to figure out that I really don't like this very much. So I'm going to just stick with a one dark section, one light section, and go around that way. Make sure you buy extra clothespins because they're obviously not super well made. So, and they're not all made equally or equally spaced apart. So be prepared for that. If you're really, really, organized and precise and want them all to be the same height, you might want to buy extra because they're not going to be. So in this section, I can actually only fit 12. I don't know if it's just the width of the clothespins was a little bigger for these, but if I smush them all over, I still can't fit one in there, so that's fine. So I'm going through and just making sure the tops are painted. Something that makes every project better, in my opinion, is glitter. So I'm gonna add some gold glitter to the brown, and I'm gonna add some crystal glitter to the blue to make it look like the water is shimmery. So I actually have this whole bucket of shells. I think a patron might have donated this to us. But I'm just gonna go through and maybe, just find a pattern that I like. I think I like that. So I think I'm gonna glue this in this kind of pattern here. So I've loaded up my hot glue gun. I'm going to glue down my shells. So like I said, this shell is really heavy, so it's gonna have to be seriously reinforced with some hot glue. I'm gonna put this one over top so it kind of covers up that gap in between. So I've glued on my shells, and I could just leave it the way it is if you want to go for like a minimalistic look, but I feel like it's missing something. It would be nice if I had a little starfish or a sand dollar or something to put over there, but I went into my closet and I found a bag of these, little bezel jewel things, which you can also buy at the dollar store. I think I'm gonna glue them around the rim to give this wreath a little more dimension and a little more color. It's always a good idea if you're going to add something to any project to try it out first. Kind of figure out where you want to place something, count the number of clothespins so you don't get all the way around and then you have like two that are really close together or something like that. So here you have your cool, funky beach wreath. You obviously can put whatever spin on it you want. You can put some jewels, you can put ribbon, anything like that. In the back here, you just tie some fishing wire or ribbon to hang from your door. I think I'm gonna use like hemp cord just because it gives that rope look, which I think is more beachy. We hope you enjoyed this simple craft from the Clearwater Library. Please send us pictures of your unique designs.